Welcome back to Blue Collar Speed and Repair. I had a video filmed and ready to edit to post this week on building our shop loft, lift, elevator deal. I was really excited about it. I keep talking about the last few videos. I've talked a lot about building one, and I did, and I recorded it, and I don't know what happened. I have a hard drive attached to my computer, folders of everything I've recorded, and that folder's empty. I don't know what happened. I tried like data recovery and all that. I found nothing in that folder, so I don't know if I thought I transferred it from my SD card and just didn't, or what. I tried the data recovery on the SD cards. It didn't find anything. Of course, that's been re-recorded over now. So unfortunately, I don't have a build video for you, which sucks because I was excited about it and I thought it was going to be a good one. So instead, I think I'll just kind of do a little walk around on what I did and what I used, and give you guys kind of a shop tour update. At least the interior is pretty much the way I want it, other than some organizing and whatnot. Been a long time coming, been a dream of mine for a long time. So figured I'd kind of share it with you guys real quick. Let's start with the lift here, or elevator, or whatever you want to call it. So it's roughly 40 inches deep, about 5 feet wide. Plenty big enough to carry anything I need to carry. And the whole goal is, of course, to be able to put stuff up on the loft. Now, I could have done stairs and carried things up, which would have been fine. But they take up a lot of floor space. Stairs do, and it would probably because of the layout, they would have to go, kind of long ways this way, or there would have to be a landing or something like that. And I don't have the room for it. I don't have the real estate available for it. Well, I mean, I could have, and I could have made it work or whatever, but I decided to go this route. So again, 40-ish inches by 5 feet wide. And it's operated on these kind of D channels. I think I have a chunk. The leftover piece. Kind of these D channels that you get from the electrical department at Home Depot. And then I bought these trolleys off of Amazon. Now these don't really hold any weight. They're more of just a guide. Everything's lifted by the winch setup I have up there, and we'll get to that in a minute. But and then then the flooring is just the same flooring that we did on the loft. The loft flooring, 3/4 inch tongue and groove. It's working really well. It's a 2-inch angle iron frame for the back and 2-inch square tubing frame for the floor. We do have a couple cross braces in it to help handle weight, and it's done really well. We've hauled a lot of stuff up and down without issues. There are a couple little quirks. We'll go over those in a second, but run this thing up. I'll show you guys the top frame. Uses this 2-button controller. Up and down, got emergency stop. Pretty simple. Up for up. So there it is in the up position. I added these, I guess it's like 1/8 inch flat plate, 2-inch wide, kind of protect the wood when you're putting stuff off and on. Frame is fairly simple. Again, 2-inch box tube. Triangulated it with, I think it's 1.5 round, as well as these kind of legs or kickers to support it this way. This is a Vevor winch, found it online. It's rated for 2,200 pounds. It's been fine for whatever I've brought up here. Hasn't had any issues. Full disclosure, it says right in the paperwork for this thing, not to be used for an elevator, not to be used for lifting people. I've lifted, obviously myself, and a lot of stuff I've brought up here, stacks of tires and wheels and bench seats and containers, and this is a fully dressed iron block 5.3 that this winch lifted with me standing next to it without issue. A couple little quirks. So if you look at the way the cable winds, the cable will like end up on top of the cable that's already spooled and then slip off, which as you're coming up the travel, it'll like skip and it'll surprise you the first couple times. I thought I was falling. So a little quirk there. Another quirk is these trolleys. Since they're in the D channel, they're not a super tight fit. They're not real tight tolerances. And so you have to keep the weight, especially going down, you got to keep the weight kind of centered. Otherwise, one side might kind of hang up a little bit and cause it to catch. Not a big deal. It'll kind of catch. You'll feel it. Raise it back up, kind of center, come back down. So not a huge deal. Like I said, it's worked well for me. This is what I'm doing. Again, I don't really do tutorials. I'm just showing you guys what I'm doing. Not necessarily the right way. And I'm not saying this is the right way, but it is working for me. I'm sure I'm not the first person to build a elevator out of this style winch, and I'm sure I won't be the last. Other than that, the loft is obviously packed full already. I need to do some organizing up here. I have a lot of junk. It's amazing how fast you can fill up a space. We went from a 2-car garage, basically 400 square feet, to about 1,200 square feet of floor space, plus about 300 square feet of loft space, and it's full. I do need to do some organizing, of course. I just kind of threw everything up here. I think I'm probably gonna, we have a bunch of these containers that are really popular. I need to probably do I'm sure you guys have seen the like 2x4 racks that people build. I need to do something like that. When I do the lean-to across this side of the building, like I still plan on doing, all these tires and wheels and stuff will end up out there because they won't be harmed out there. Out in the weather won't hurt them, but at least they'll be protected from the rain and the sun. Got, bench seats that are kind of difficult to store. These seats are out of a future project coming up. Stay tuned for that one. That one's a good one. And then just various other stuff. 5th wheel hitch for the dually. We don't even have the 5th wheel anymore. Various containers and boxes and engines and transmissions. I need to do some kind of shelving system across here. This is just some random stuff that I had. I need some proper actual shelves that I'm probably going to have to build because of the slant of the roof. I can't just buy a shelf really to put in here. But we got random stuff. I guess I need to find a place to put these engines into and transmissions into. This is a 5.3. I got a marketplace find was a like 01, I think, Tahoe or Yukon with a bad trans, which is actually right there. Paid $600 the whole thing, took the transmission and engine out of it, scrapped the rest for I think $400. So I'm $200 into a running iron block 5.3 and a core 4L60. That is a extra F-body 700R4 that we ended up with all the stuff we got with the Galaxy. That's a 700R4 out of another another project you guys will see coming up. The Turbo 350 that was original to my now Rec 74 C10. This is a small block I also got out of the Galaxy deal with the Muncie 4-speed that I'm excited to put those in something. I'm not sure what project that's going to go into yet. And that is a 4.8 that Jesse bought that he thought he was going to put in his Camaro, but basically all he's getting out of this deal, which he didn't pay a lot of money for, to be honest, is a short block. The rest of it, the heads are junk, and there's actually nothing else there but a crappy stock timing cover. So, and then various other parts and pieces and odds and ends I've collected. Like I said, it's you fill up space fast. It's amazing the kind of crap that you collect over the years and over time. And like, I've got more carburetors than I've got vehicles, which is not a bad problem to have. Got more engines than vehicles too, which I guess again I'm gonna have to find projects to put those in, which again isn't a bad problem to have. Okay, so lift up in the air or elevator up in the air, you can get a look at the frame underneath. This has been fine for carrying anything I need to carry. Haven't had any deflection or any problems with it. Been storing my welders and torch set underneath because they're on wheels and easily movable. Again, I'm very sorry that you don't get a actual build video. Had a lot of fun building it. Got to play with metal a little bit. Haven't got to do that very much. Was excited to share it, but these things happen. I learned a lesson. Just the way it goes sometimes. So other than that, I figured we'd just do a quick walk around, kind of show you the shop here. Real quick overview. It's set up kind of the way I wanted it. At least the basic stuff. There's still a lot of organizing to do and whatnot. So we start in this corner. This is a marketplace find. If you guys search for metal cabinets for sale, holy cow are they expensive. Even the like Harbor Freight cabinets or Northern Tool or any of those kind of companies, they want an arm and a leg. I bought this off of a company that was closing. I think we paid $100. And I think they're close to $1,000 if you were to buy it new. So I wanted a place to kind of store stuff away. So obviously like cleaning stuff, I got some painting supplies, like car wash type stuff, sanding type stuff, and then like car painting stuff that I don't do much of anyway. That's why it's hiding down there in the bottom. The downside is to buying stuff used on Marketplace is there's no rods. The handle don't work. The handle doesn't actually do anything. That's okay. Put me just a little latch up there. I did run internet out to the building. Where we live, we don't get very good cell service. So, and then you put yourself in a metal building and you can't make phone calls. You can't buy parts with your phone or laptop or whatever. So just a cheap, easy router. We got cat food because the boss is feeding all the strays. So now I think we have 6 stray cats that hang out around the shop and the house, which is good. I guess there's no mice and snakes that I've seen. The sink was already here when we moved in, so it's obviously still in place. We did do a little water heater underneath. I think it's 1.5 or 2 gallons. It actually works really well. I need to build a proper stand for it. That's the drain for the sink actually leaking just a little bit. I got to fix that as well. Always something to fix. Pressure washer, mop bucket, little parts washer there. The air compressor is going to go outside. Whenever I get the lean-to built out here, I've already got it wired, but I want to be able to put it out there covered. So that's still kind of in my way, but that's the way it goes. I have extra welding tanks and stuff there, and a outlet for a welder. Eventually I'd like to do like just a little cheapy welding table. The elevator area you've seen, kind of a little bit of a workspace, grinder, drill press. This sander's from Eastwood's been really handy. Got a cabinet here for keep all my grinders in. That's been real handy. That's been a good storage solution for that. Kind of keeps everything out of the way and in one place. This shelf, gorilla rack or whatever you want to call it, it's supposed to be kind of a place to store stuff I use all the time or get into more common, as well as projects we're working on or projects coming up. I can keep parts close by. As parts come in that we order can go right on that, right on a shelf. And of course that needs to be organized and straightened out. I got to figure out how to set that up a little better. Next to that, little shop press. If you don't have one, you should get one if you have space for it. They are extremely handy. You don't use them very often, but when you need them, they're good to have around. Next to that, just a little cheapy Harbor Freight roll cart. I keep all my wiring stuff in. Again, just kind of keep things organized. Got wire ties and heat shrink and connectors and fittings and stuff like that. So if I'm working on a wiring project, I can just roll it over to wherever. That's been extremely handy as well. This cabinet workbench here was another marketplace find. I think we paid like 50 bucks, and then I put some casters on it. Not really what I wanted. I wanted a smaller one that I kind of roll around and use, but this is what I ended up with. This is what I could find. Just like cabinets, workbenches, metal workbenches to buy new, or man, they're pricey. My pretty toolbox here, pretty standard. Sockets, wrenches, screwdrivers, pliers, all that kind of stuff is in here. I mean, you guys know what toolboxes look like. This is the charging station that I kind of put up. That's ran off of a switch next to the light switch. So when I turn the lights off, this charging station gets turned off as well. Well, on a separate switch, but it gets turned off every night, so I don't have batteries on chargers all night. Got a 8-foot workbench that I've had for years. It was actually in my garage vise. Shelf above that's just basically more tool storage, stuff I don't use very often, or it's kind of big or annoying to put in a toolbox. Obviously there's a slide hammer in a big box that doesn't fit real well, ball joint tool I don't use very often, stuff like that. Hardware bin has been really handy. If you don't have one of those, I urge you to get one, even if it's a smaller, just a very small container. It's always handy to have hardware around. And usually you can buy it at a hardware store in bulk, by the pound or whatever. And then I have this drawer system above. Again, oddball stuff I get into all the time: cotter pin, hose clamps, small thread, that kind of stuff. Cheapy Harbor Freight cabinets. Again, more hardware, vacuum plugs, stainless steel screws, self-tapping screws, that kind of stuff. Got O-rings and grease fittings, and this is again why I wanted to do the plywood on the wall. I want to be able to store stuff or mount stuff on the wall. This one just has like lubricants and adhesives and silicones and stuff like that in it. And then down to this end, just kind of a random table I had around. Of course, you got to have a mini fridge for adult beverages and water. Got to stay hydrated. This bench has kind of become a catch-all. Just kind of every flat space you have in a garage or a shop ends up with junk on it. There's just no way around it. And then of course, in the last video, we put the lift in. This has been working extremely well. It's handled anything I needed to do, which I knew it would. A couple downsides to this lift. I wouldn't say downsides, but annoyances, I would say. Lift itself is working fantastic. No issues with it whatsoever. The telescoping legs, so this piece slides in as well as this piece slides in. When you have it all the way out, they drag on the ground a little bit, which is again not terrible. It is a little bit annoying. More of a frustration than anything. And one big thing that I disagree with, if you have a name brand lift or anything name brand like this that you use a lot and spend a lot of money on, it came with no adapters whatsoever. It came with these rubber pads that screw up and down, and that's it. No risers whatsoever. I bought these separately. Also from BIMPAC, they make a 2-inch one, 2 3/4 inch, and a 5-inch one. These are 2 3/4. Which, this has done anything I needed to do, but it would have been nice to get adapters with it. As well as they have the, like they call them truck adapters, but they're like a metal saddle, basically, that to go around like a truck style frame. I feel like something this expensive probably should have came with more accessories than it did. You know, it's kind of the way it is sometimes. It's the way it goes. They were nice enough to put right on the lift all the accessories you can buy. So that was handy of them. So other than that, I mean, like I said, just a quick kind of a walk around shop tour where we're at currently, an update for you. Projects coming up, there's some good ones. I'll make sure and save these ones like I'm supposed to. I got a few vehicles, a few projects coming up that already filmed. Keep an eye out for that. If you're not subscribed, please do so. Find your way back. We're kind of stalled out on people hitting the subscribe button. If you'd hit it for me, I'd appreciate it very much. Other than that, leave me a comment. If you got any tips on organization for like small stuff, like that shelf, for instance, organizing that kind of stuff is, I'm drawing a blank. If you come up with anything, if you know of anything, if you've got a link to a video of that kind of organization, let me know. I'd appreciate it. Other than that, hit the thumbs up on the video, hit the thumbs down on the video. If that's how you feel, I'm fine with it. And that's it for me. I'll see you guys next time.